Hello, welcome to another ramble. I was gonna make a video talking about several things. The first thing that comes to the forefront is why things don't work out. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but I am accustomed to setting my mind on a particular goal and accomplishing it. And normally, I never really put too much thought into it until most recently because there's something I had in mind, like a plan and a goal and an objective that just never panned out. And it was very interesting. I mean, obviously, there's things that happen in life that don't work out, and I guess it depends on your level of emotional investment in that particular goal that, helps you to either move past it pretty quickly or just kind of ruminate on it for a period of time much longer than you probably would want to ruminate on it. But I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, why didn't it pan out? What did I do wrong? Did I do anything wrong? Was it meant to be? Maybe it wasn't meant to be. And it came down to not having a clear idea or a clear intention. Does that make sense? So, I had a particular thing that I wanted to accomplish most recently, and it didn't pan through. And when I kind of step back to like really look at it, there's so many things that are working against me, and I know a lot of it is out of your control. But at the same time, I recognize the fact that we create our realities, based on like our internal atmosphere. And if I were to think on it, there was a lot of turmoil and a lot of fear and a lot of like, I want to say, doubts, fears, and confusion and worry surrounding, not even surrounding, inside of me. So it's just like I knew what I wanted, but my internal atmosphere was full of confusion and doubt and uncertainty and just there's no like my you know how like you're supposed to have like a laser beam and you just kind of focus it. Yeah, that laser beam was super fragmented, and so it didn't have enough, I guess, power and precision to cut straight towards the goal that I had in mind. So, because of that, my objective was not attained, and it was super disappointing. And I suppose whenever I feel disappointed, it kind of gives me the opportunity to self reflect and also to experience like the failure or the mistake that I was making when I was trying to reach a particular goal. And it had nothing to do with anything outside of me. It definitely had to do with everything inside of me. But I don't think I would be able to experience and witness this unless this um, occurrence, like for instance, this needed to happen in order for me to recognize that it had a lot to do with me and the way I was feeling inside, the way I was focusing my energy and attention, which was very fragmented, and also to just experience and witness and learn that next time, I really want to work towards something. I just really need to be clear in myself. And that's all it is. On another, I guess, topic that's semi related to what I'm talking about is, well, actually, before I even move on to the next topic, how like people say, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not. So, like, I feel like what determines it happening or not absolutely is in correlation to your inner atmosphere. So, like, if you really, really want something, all you have to do is be clear and be sure inside, and then just kind of like allow yourself to align with that objective. But if you're confused or you're doubtful or you're not clear or you're, heavily immersed in fear, that is absolutely going to stop you from attaining your goal. So, knowing this, just adjust yourself, work on balancing yourself, being super clear on what you want, and then just kind of like allowing yourself to align with that which you are trying to attain. So, yeah, it's not even like, it has nothing to do with your worth. It has nothing to do with your value. It has nothing to do with your your ability, or you know what I mean? Like it's just a matter of shifting your focus and shifting your attention and being clear and not letting anything distract you from that. So that's why it fell apart, and that's what it is. Um Moving on. I was thinking about it, and I just think life is, we're just here to experience things. That's it. Like, we put too much weight on things being a certain way, and we take so many things personally, and we hold on to a lot of energetic components of a situation that has already passed. And it's funny, I feel like I do this, and I'm catching myself though. So, say something happens in the past, whether it's good or bad, I have a tendency to hold on to the energetic component of that experience and replay it over and over in my head, and it keeps me bound to that particular time, you know, because of that experience. If you were to just kind of like, and this is common sense, honestly, it's just for some reason our mind gets fixated on particular things. And, before I thought, like, oh, if you reference the past, it will help you to make better decisions moving forward. And yeah, that can be true. But then you're also basing a present choice on a past experience that will no longer necessarily replicate itself unless you're bound to it. Does that make sense? And that's why, like, people like loop or cycle or recycle things like for instance, like, say, moving forward, you encounter like similar situations, but the players have changed or the environment has changed. It's because you're still bound energetically to a previous experience that you still haven't let go of, you know? And until you let go of that, then you can never really, really step forward into something new. So, my whole thing is like, we are moving through life, accumulating experiences, and every time we accumulate them, instead of holding on so tightly to them, just, I guess, let it pass. Because if not, you're binding yourself. It's like energetic blockages, that definitely shape future experiences if you're still holding on. And the reason I was thinking about this, and of course this is all experimental because this is a new concept that I've decided to adopt. I was thinking about children. You know how when children like live, they live with a very like fresh set of eyes. Like they don't have any trauma or any like impressions that are lodged in their system that are preventing them from enjoying life, And I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes, like, say, like a kid falls down and they start crying. They might cry in that moment, but then after that moment passes, they get up and they're back laughing and playing and doing the next thing. But they don't let that one, like, experience hold them back, They keep moving forward with a fresh set of eyes. And I feel like adults have lost the capacity to do this because they've held on to impressions that were traumatic, or they've held on to impressions that were the opposite of traumatic, and then they're just kind of like living off of a template or a blueprint that has these impressions that are lodged, but they can never really move through life with a fresh set of eyes. So yeah, I just feel like it's important to recognize what we do, how we operate, things that we've been holding on to, and how it's not necessary to hold on to them anymore. It's not really necessary to overanalyze or ruminate because that kind of keeps you stuck in a particular segment of time energetically. You know what I mean? I have no idea if I'm making sense, but that was on my mind and I wanted to express it. Blessings to one and all. Amen.